My name is John Lipsky. I'm a retired FBI agent. I spent 20 years as a special agent with the Bureau conducting forensic analyses of documents, with 5 years supervising and managing SQL databases. This public records request for water consumption data was filed June 6, 2014. I have examined several documents and 2 thumb drives filled with data and files produced by Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority to Ms. Karen Balcony in response to this public records request. Based on my experience and training and my analyses and synthesis of the Aqueduct Authority's documents and thumb drives, I have formed the following opinions. Conclusions of forensic analysis. 1. The water consumption documents generated by the Aqueduct Authority show evidence of interference and manipulation of the data. 2. The Aqueduct Authority's database is not verifiable or reliable. 3. The Aqueduct Authority's database and the processes used for extracting data and generating its reports should be examined by an independent third party before they are relied on in any way. 4. Because the database is used to generate bills for consumers and because the Aqueduct Authority is a public entity, an external audit of the database and billing records is highly recommended. The Aqueduct Authority provided water consumption documents, including this one, in response to Ms. Balcony's public records request. Analysis revealed that these responses showed water consumption levels significantly higher than those used to design the Cudjoe plant. Shortly afterwards, the Aqueduct Authority issued what it called, quote, corrected documents, unquote, revised the numbers downward in significant amounts, and apologized for what it called a, quote, computer-generated error, unquote, in the original documents. It explained that an employee had generated an, quote, erroneous query, unquote, to the database which mistakenly added an additional column of numbers to the total water consumption category. Based on this explanation, the entries in the original document should be higher than those in the, quote, corrected documents, unquote, since an additional column of numbers was supposedly added to the original documents. But this chart of November 2013 shows entries which are lower in the original documents. This chart of August 2013 again shows entries in the original documents which are lower than those in the corrected documents. This chart of July 2013 again shows entries which do not correspond with FKAA's explanations about how the original documents needed to be corrected because an additional column of numbers had been supposedly added. And January 2013 again shows entries which reveal that FKAA's explanation for why the original documents need to be corrected does not make sense. It also doesn't explain the anomalies in the following documents. This is the Aqueduct Authority's first response to the June 6, 2014 request for water consumption records. You can see that the top part of the document has information labeled revenue, and the bottom section has information about consumption. The document indicates the information is for 2013. Several hours later, the Aqueduct Authority produced this second response to the June 6, 2014 request for water consumption records after Ms. Balcony called and reminded them that she had asked for records for 2011 through 2013, not just 2013. This slide shows a side-by-side of the 2 documents I just showed you. I've eliminated the revenue portion so you can see the consumption entries more easily. I've removed all months except November and December for the year 2013, since that is where the anomalies appear. All of the entries in every consumption category for all the other 10 months of 2013 are exactly the same in both documents. By comparing the two responses, it's obvious that the documents are not identical, when they should be, because they are both in response to the same records request and were produced on the same day, only 4 hours apart. But they are not the same. There have been selected changes to several of the entries. The entries which are different in the two documents are highlighted. These kinds of differences between the documents are the result of interference or manipulation of the data from the database. I also reviewed the two thumb drives provided by the Aqueduct Authority, which it claims verifies its water consumption data. My review shows that the Aqueduct Authority used a highly suspicious methodology to create the water consumption documents. It queried the database, then created spreadsheets, and then manipulated data into PDF format documents. This is a recipe for interference, data manipulation, and mistake is not the standard of the industry. The water consumption records, not documents created by this suspicious and improper procedure, have never been provided in response to the June 6, 2014 public records request.